The Denver Nuggets just shut up Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors. They proved to the entire league that they are for real, that last year's NBA championship was not a fluke, and that we are here to start brewing a dynasty. The new dynasty in the NBA is running through the 303, and it's kind of hard to believe. I've been a huge Nuggets fan since I was in middle school, and I just cannot believe that we have the best player in the league, the best team in the league. We have chemistry that you can't beat, and all of that was on display last night with a victory over the Golden State Warriors. We're going to dive in. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ben. I cover all things Denver sports, and this is my first time doing a Nuggets video. I've been covering the Broncos, going to continue to do that. If you've been here for the Broncos coverage, stay for the Nuggets coverage, because I think we have a lot more optimism with this Nuggets team right now than we have with the Broncos. So looking into last night, just absolutely nuts. We know that playing in Golden State is one of the toughest places in the entire NBA to play. We know that they've been the NBA darlings, that they're the cover of billboards and video games, and everybody loves the Warriors, right? They've become America's team, and we have won 3 games in a row against them, and that's super, super hard to do in the NBA, in any league, beating a team 3 times, especially a team like the Warriors, when you know that their coach, who has the ear of the league, who pulls all the strings, behind the curtain, their coach has been really prodding at the officials, especially with how they match up against these Nuggets. So you remember the Christmas Day game. That was an incredible game when the Nuggets just dominated the Golden State Warriors when they were at full health. And you saw Steve Kerr afterwards go up in his press game conference and just go off on the officiating, saying that it was a disgusting game, that the NBA is unwatchable because the Nuggets had so many free throws. But if you've been following this team for a lot of years, you realize that Jokic's arms at the end of the season look like a cat just got to him. Like, he is so beat up in the paint, and all of his points are under contact. And if you're playing pickup ball at the YMCA and you get hit like Jokic does, you're like about to fight a dude, yet they'll play on all the time. So the Nuggets are not getting favorable whistles. They're finally getting the whistle that they deserve. And so you would have guessed that after Steve Kerr kind of seeding that with the league, that going into Golden State on the first night of a back-to-back, knowing Aaron Gordon has been out with the dog biting injury, that we were in for some trouble, right? And it looked like that for a long time last night. At one point, the Golden State Warriors were up huge with just 5-6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, with a 99.6% chance of winning. And then Steve Kerr kind of poked the bear. He poked our Jokic bear. And here is the quick thing of what happened. He fouls their new, like everyone says, this is the new Austin Reeves. Fouls him at half court. Not like a massive foul or anything like that. And you see him kind of go all Greg Popovich and high horse on Jokic. And you remember when Greg Popovich picked up the PA announcer's mic and said, "Stop booing Kawhi Leonard." And you're just like, dude, stop taking yourself so seriously. Steve Kerr thinks of himself as Popovich, and he's doing that. Look at him talk to Jokic. I don't think there's no way Michael Malone would have done that to LeBron or done that to Steph Curry. Like, this is the kind of stuff that as Nuggets fans, we just, we can't wait. Like, he just says, don't do that. That's not basketball. And you're like, dudes do that kind of foul to Jokic on the play-by-play basis. And so Jokic, we saw like the Morris foul with the Clippers that started the brawl last year. Like, Jokic is getting hit like that every time he gets the ball. And so for Steve Kerr to be like, don't do that, it really was poking the bear. And that is all that we needed to go on a massive 20-something point run and put the dagger right in the Golden State Warriors' heart, and ending it on a really like a Steph Curry type buzzer beater here from Jokic. You see 1.3 seconds left. Here he is pulling up from Dame time, really 35 feet out, and calls backboard here, and boom, right there, sinks it, really ending the Warriors' hopes of winning the series this year against the Nuggets. And I think every single person who's ever played basketball or just played in your driveway, like, do you remember the first time that you beat your dad and you were just like, shocked by it, and you couldn't believe that you were better than your dad. And it took a while to like sink in that the dynasty had passed. And I remember my dad still plays every week. Shout out Broomfield Rec Center, and he's 60 something years old. It took me till I was like later in high school to beat my dad, and it took a couple times of beating him to be like, oh, I finally am better than my old man. And that truly is what has happened here with the Golden State Warriors and the Denver Nuggets. We have the best player in the league, and it takes a long time for that to sink in, but man, I hope it's sunk in. As a Denver sports fan, we haven't had this kind of domination at a position since Manning's record-breaking first 2 years, and then that trailed off quickly. But Jokic's domination does not seem to be trailing off, and a lot of people are saying Jokic might be on a little bit of a slump right now, but just look at some of these stats over the past couple of weeks, and they're almost unbelievable. So he yesterday, despite the fact that all of his shots are contested, one of his shots was that half-court shot. He went 13 of 16, so he missed 3 shots in last night's game. You go the night before, he misses 1 shot in another win, so he's at 4 missed shots in 2 games. You go to the next night, and he missed 1 shot, so he's at 5 missed shots in 3 games. And then you go to this drubbing of the Grizzlies, who a lot of people thought were going to make the playoffs, and Jokic went 11 for 11. Like, you put me in a gym right now, and I hoop regularly, I don't go 11 for 11 just playing by myself. So Jokic in a 4-game win streak has missed 5 shots, and I am totally here for it. We have shown the NBA that we are for real. We have shown the NBA that this is the start of a brewing dynasty, and we shut up Steve Kerr. We showed up on an NBA primetime night, TNT, and showed, we can be real big. We can be down. Jokic can win by putting up 40 points, or he can win by shooting 1 time in the first half like he did a couple nights ago. That we have never had a player like this in any sport who isn't just elite at scoring, but elite at everything that he does, that he makes every single person on that Denver Nuggets squad better. And you just see the chemistry that this new dynasty has. And even the Golden State Warriors, who were that dynasty, you saw punches to the face with Draymond Green, and you saw yelling at KD when those guys were going back and forth. Even now with the Suns and all the talent they have, you see the rivalries and the dislike and the distrust, and you just look at that in comparison with this Denver Nuggets team, where you just see true love for guys. And I encourage you, I'll throw it on this playlist here, is go watch Michael Porter Jr.'s interview with Nikola Jokić, and just see that is the type of team that we have. There's true love for each other, and there is elite talent. That Nikola Jokić is the best player in the league right now, and there is no debate about that, and we are here for a long time. So thanks for watching, and Nuggets Nation, we're here for it.